Alright then, it's time for a Trundle game, and my god, is he powerful as hell right now. In fact, I think he might even be getting nerfed soon if Riot's not gonna nerf to the Masteries as much as they need to be. Right now, the Fervor Mastery in the offensive tree is insanely strong on Trundle. My Masteries are 18, 0, 12. And my runes are the same as always. Attack damage red, attack damage queens, armor yellow, cooldown reduction blues. Right off the bat, I don't go to red because I want to gank Cho'Gath, and I sort of expect he'd ward around red buff if he expected me to gank from there. Plus, Twisted Fate is the only CC we need, and he's insanely good at this. The Cho'Gath gets a little too far ahead, so we get a lot more free damage on him, and we pretty much kill him. Now, there's nothing going to happen for the next minute, so you explain what made Trundle so strong. The Fervor Mastery is insanely good on someone like him. See, the problem with Trundle before when it came to damage was that he only had Q for damage. And if your Q wasn't strong, then you didn't do anything. And there wasn't really much you can do to artificially boost it up outside of buying items. It was basically a glorified auto attack after stealing some AD from the enemy. So the new Fervor ramps up really quickly as someone with Trundle. You know, you just auto attack them, bite them, your W gives you attack speed, and you just keep hitting it. And soon enough, your bites are dealing a ton of damage. So essentially, just you'll witness the fights in this game. Once my Fervor ramps up, I start hitting ridiculously hard. It's so much free damage on someone who can spam it so easily. So damage Trundle is a big thing right now. In fact, his win rate is number 2 with this build right now. As for the jungler main, in top lane he's really high up, but I think he's like number 3 or something. I don't quite know. Check out the win rates. Remember, win rates don't necessarily matter too much, but during the preseason, it's kind of all we have going for it. And as you can see, I'm pretty much just farming Cho'Gath at this point because he's got no escapes, and ganking Twisted Fate lanes is just like the most easy shit you can do. Anyways, Trundle also excels in the early game. It's kind of a thing a lot of people don't know about Trundle is that he's not a late game champion. He's early game. His debuffs matter way more early when you don't really have items to make up for how much he's stealing from you. Like, look, my Fervor is already at 10. Just chunk the living crap out of Nocturne. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot of damage, but consider how quickly Trundle deals it. It's just like, you know, chunk, or pretty good sustained damage. We just killed Trundle, we just killed Cho'Gath right now, just under his tower. Easy peasy as hell. Don't worry, this game isn't a total stomp, as you can see by the fact that it's going to last quite a bit. Thanks to that, we're able to get Dragon and secure our foothold in the base. Now, there's 2 ways to build damaged Trundle. You either go for the lifesteal build, the pretty much pure lifesteal. You get Blade of the Ruined King, you get a Hydra, and you just pretty much do that. Deadman's Plate is one of the best items you can get on him. If you rush it early, it's good against tanky dudes, and of course you do quite a bit of damage with it. But in this case, I decided to, right after Warrior, go with the Vampiric Scepter just for the lifesteal, because even just a little bit of lifesteal goes a long way with Trundle, and I recommend if you have the gold to spare, just buy a Vampiric Scepter right off the bat. Most people can't duel you at that point because you're just healing too much. And then I'll be looking towards building a Titanic Hydra, because I was thinking might going a little bit tanky. That's just because the Olaf died a little bit early, and I figure I might need to also be the front line, despite the fact that I wanted to go damage, and then building myself Deadman's Plate and so on and so forth. Look, here's where the damage starts scaling up a lot. I'm dealing quite a bit to Renekton, and remember, he's pretty much just as fed as me. Oh, well, he's also got a few deaths. That's quite a bit of damage. And considering I'm the type of champion who steals stats from the enemy, it's a big deal. Like early on in the early game, if Trundle kills anybody, he rampages against the tower. If you try to duel him, he steals your stats, which are again a big deal in the early game. It just beats you to death, and the fact that you can't kill him fast enough means his Fervor stacks are going to come into play during the fight, and he's just gonna destroy you. Whatever happened here, I don't know. My teammate Twisted Fate gets destroyed. I show up right now, and it's a little bit of an overzealous fight. Like, I feel I can take on Renekton and Cho'Gath in a 2v1 because I'm that strong. and I'm just trying to provoke them into fighting me or getting me an advantage, or in a situation where I have the advantage. I have to get my ultimate on Renekton, and preferred when he's already using his ultimate, so I can just get big. Like, you see, they focus me, and I have Soraka with me, I pop my ultimate, and I pretty much massacre Renekton. If it wasn't Nocturne showing up and causing a disarray with the rest of my team and Soraka being forced back, I probably would have beaten them all to death. Then, of course, the rest shows up, and I couldn't just kill them all, but you saw how quick, how close I came to just murdering them. For whatever reason, Olaf thinks he can take on the rest of the enemy team, and he dies. Don't worry, though. He's not a bad player. I think he was just on full-on tilt. I don't know. I think he was talking about a little bit of lag. Either way, Trundle, there's two builds with him, the tanky build and the damage build. The tanky build isn't doing as well, and it was kind of my preferred build. The damage build is what's making him strong. Again, look at my item build. I'm taking the tankier route instead of the lifesteal never die route, where you just kind of beat people to death and heal yourself up while doing it. It's the other build is, remember, Blade of the Ruined King, the Ravenous Hydra, and Dead Man's Plate. Dead Man's Plate could be purchased first if you need the tankiness and whatever. In this case, I didn't feel I needed it as badly, because the Olaf at least will eat some damage. The Soraka is kind of keeping me alive, but I do need tankiness at some point. So, eh. Anyways, if Riot doesn't nerf the Fervor Mastery, which is making Trundle and a few other champions insane, then they're going to end up nerfing Trundle, which is kind of a shame, right? But just the fact that I'm nearly unkillable and obscenely powerful, and the enemy team could do a lot to focus me, and I could still irk out some survivability, because the amount of like random sustain I get for things just dying around me is stupid. I make it out alive here. The Soraka is keeping Twisted Fate alive as much as possible. She's pretty legit of a player. Twisted Fate is getting barraged with everything, but the Soraka just keeps him alive long enough to stun the Renekton for me and Olaf to kill him without risking our own lives. Olaf shows up and finishes off the Thresh. Cho'Gath has absolutely no escape or anything. He just kind of didn't make an attempt, so he's just kind of tower dive him and kill him. So it's a 12 to 14 kills. You think it'd be more dramatic, but the thing is, a few of my team members have died quite a bit, as much as they've also gotten kills. And most of the kills are focused on me, which is not exactly the most beneficial thing out there. It'd be preferred for it to be on the Tristana, and for me at least to be a moderate fighter. Nonetheless, you already saw that if I fight anybody 1v1, I will kill them, and it won't even be like a match. It would just be a massacre. Now, I'm just trying to scout for them, trying to get them out of position. As soon as Thresh fails his Q, you can see Olaf just tries to rampaging through. He messed up his ultimate, so he still got knocked back, but the enemy team just kind of can't do anything. They're fighting us in the corridor, which is probably the worst thing they can do, and we pick off Cho'Gath rather easily. Now, this is one of my favorite things is Trundle when you actually go damage. The amount of damage you do to a turret is absurd. Just, you can see every time I activate my Q, it chunks it for a little bit. Of course, the Twisted Fate was also probably a bigger factor here. And of course, the wall creates a lot of these punishing situations in which the enemy gets a little too overzealous and now they're stuck. Of course, the Thresh kind of got hit by the gold card, so he was dead anyways. So, Trundle, he's very easy to learn too. So, if you want to pick him up and just start dominating the solo queue during this preseason, then it's pretty much easy. I totally recommend him. Another thing that's really helping him out is, well, actually, I mentioned this. This is where the wall punishes people who get overzealous. We know Thresh and Renekton don't have their flashes, and they go next to a wall for whatever reason, and they basically get pinned. Therefore, the Renekton was forced to use his dash, and the Thresh just had to accept that he was going to die. Anyways, another thing that's really helping out Trundle is that there aren't as many tanks as before. Right now, since it's a fast meta, some tanks are just kind of ousted. So you either have pseudo tanks like Renekton or Thresh or Tom, or you have one tank on somewhere on the team that Trundle pretty much just uses it as a armor, magic resistance, fuel system or something when he ults them. Nonetheless, you can see here, it's just, the fight is very scattered. all my team is a huge threat, so much so that they burned everything just to try to kill Soraka, but it pretty much amounted to nothing because our damage is supreme. It's like they can't find anyone in my team that they could focus down and gain an advantage on. Like they basically, the only thing they can do right now is eat people who get overzealous like that Tristana. I love that. Like, I don't know what the Tristana thought she was going to achieve, but whatever. Also, look at this. I don't even know what the hell's healing me. I'm just going to assume it's the Masteries and the lifesteal I have, but I just heal by a lot, just beating this Baron to death. Of course, my passive kicks in after he dies, and I'm basically at full health again. It's ridiculous right now, the amount of sustain Trundle has. So, if anything, they'll probably nerf that. They can't really nerf anything else in a way that's meaningful or not just stupid. Because, like, Trundle is kind of a very compact and well-made champion. Like, for what he was supposed to do, he's pretty damn well made. Again, it's just pretty much the Masteries and the meta giving him a little bit of love, right? Damn, the Fervor Mastery is just fucking ridiculous. You see it used on champions like Aurelia, you see it used on champions like Renekton, and it's just ridiculous. They're gonna have to nerf that one, because I just think Trundle's a little too precious for this. Anyways, I just focus the tower, take it down while Olaf goes rampaging on the enemy team. Thresh's wall is actually gonna prohibit us from finishing off the rest of the enemy team. Like, it's just enough to slow us down to not be able to murder the rest of them. And with that, I just decide, fuck it, focus the towers only. If I take out these two Nexus turrets, then we have no chance of throwing this game. I end up getting killed here. They burn a lot just to bring me down. And that at least gives my team a chance to walk away from this. Then they kite the enemy team towards the Baron-infused minions, and the Baron-infused minions pretty much obliterate them. Olaf goes on a killing spree, catches Renekton, murders him, and he basically redeems himself for all the titty spanking he received during the lane. And with that, you can see that that Lee's Trundle is freakishly strong. I know. I pulled off a lot of successful ganks early, but go look up the win rates. It kind of speaks volumes as towards Trundle's power. Keep it in mind that it's a specific build, and Riot can nerf it at any time. Trundle is just pretty damn good with the Masteries right now, and that's it. This channel is supported by my sponsors, Crunchyroll, Pro Build Systems, and Loot Crate. Check out the description below for links to the websites. Signing up for any trials, including Crunchyroll's free anime trial, greatly supports my channel. Also remember to give the video a like to support the channel and subscribe if you haven't yet.